Hey everybody, it's Kimrick's Project here. I know it's been a while, but like many people in the gigantic community, I did have to take a break. The server instabilities, it was just too much. But that didn't mean I wasn't coming back. I, like many in the community, just decided to sit and wait and hope that one day a patch would land that would bring me back in. Motiga had hinted at something along those lines for a while. Well, June 21st came and went, and now we have it, the Arc launch patch. With it came a lot of bug fixes, most importantly of which for me were the disconnect problems. Now Motiga has said they're still working on them. They're not 100% out, but they got a lot of them, as well as they put in some tools to help track any other ones that might occur. But that wasn't all. Map adjustments, the rework of the stamina system, a new in-game HUD, menu system, in-game voice communication, reworked store prices, and now access for people on Windows 8 and 7. Now this was fantastic news, something a lot of us were really hoping for. An increase in community size alongside some game server stability, and a way to talk to these new players to get them the info they need, and even a new system in place to enhance the new user experience. A series of tutorials and bot matches that the new users had to take part in to be able to play the actual game. Now it doesn't seem to have completely worked. The subreddit is still alight with new players claiming they don't know how to play, or even criticizing the game based on examples that if they knew how to play the game wouldn't be an issue. Hopefully Motiga is taking this information into hand and have plans to add more clear-cut information. But again, one of the core things we wanted for this game was server stability. Or maybe connection stability. It's still unclear as to whether it's client-side or server-side that was causing the disconnect problems. Either way, having put almost 200 hours into this patch, I can safely say it's at least 90% better. And with the influx of community that the Arc client provides, it feels like queue times have never been shorter. Now this of course means you're going to have to actually copy your account over to Arc, and I do kind of take issue with this. I mean, Motiga did promise us an increase in community size. I just don't remember them talking about splitting the community to do it. They do claim that their goal is to reconnect everyone, but we'll have to see. And that seems to be the case with most of the things they brought out in this new patch. I mean, we've been asking for in-game voice for a while, and it's great that they finally did it, but a push-to-talk function wasn't released alongside it, which seems a little weird. Again, Motiga has hinted several times that it's coming, and that sentiment seems to be applied to the current HUD. Though this doesn't affect the new players as much, a lot of the veterans preferred the health and stamina bars to be around the actual center point. And beyond that, a more global request is that they actually apply numbers to these moving bars. And one of the bigger, more all-encompassing changes in this patch were the stam fixes, or rather stamina bar changes. It certainly increases character mobility as you no longer have to decide whether or not you need to run to combat knowing that you might not be able to run away. And it even provided some heroes like Zenobia pretty substantial buffs compared to what they were prior. But it seems to also have had the effect of making ranged characters just that much stronger. Being able to left-click without losing stam is devastating for people like Charnock, Amani, Beckett. It's drastically increased their survivability while also giving them the very simple ability to chase anyone constantly. Now hopefully Motiga's listening to this, because a lot of the veteran and competitive players, even those who usually main ranged characters, are calling for some kind of change to bring them more in line with the rest of the cast. So we'll just have to see how this new system grows and changes. And they've already been working towards some of the community concerns. A recent hotfix just dropped to increase the amount of crowns you earn by just playing the game. And this is important because that directly affects the free-to-play user base. As a veteran player who already had a Founders Pack, this didn't really affect me, but again, I did say I played almost about 200 hours of games, and in that time it became very clear that the crown gain system is just heavily slowed down. And usually in this case, if it feels like an insurmountable task to gain enough money to buy a hero, the casual free-to-player might just decide that they'd rather not just play at all, decreasing the player base, increasing the queue times. It would all just snowball from there. Hopefully Motiga is able to strike that balance, especially with July 20th looming, which is the date that Motiga announced this game will be coming to the Steam client. Now don't get too excited, the Steam client is simply a launcher for the Arc client, which then launches the game. So if you're like me and got stuck with a crappy battle tag from Arc, you're still going to be stuck with it. Now although I am very happy for the changes and all the stuff we have to look forward to, I am extremely worried about this Steam release. I know it's mostly Motiga trying to bring us a bigger community again, but there is a level of demand from people on Steam that I feel is unparalleled with most gaming platforms. So I have a small checklist that Motiga should probably be looking into if they're hoping for a successful Steam launch. Number one on that list should be custom lobbies. As a former player in the Guardian Arena, I still don't understand why Motiga wants to call this a competitive game when we have no way to scrim 5v5 efficiently. This is hugely important since you're going to be waiving the "we're a competitive game" same flag around all over Steam. The game currently doesn't reflect that fact. Which brings me to my second point. Proper ranked mode. We can keep the semi-hidden MMR behind the common play now, that's perfectly fine. But a mode in-game that shows you your rating, shows you your win-losses, shows you all that stuff. It seems to be the case, and I might be wrong, but in a lot of games that take this approach, players begin to understand their strengths and weaknesses a little bit faster. When you look at your current season rating and bracket, you start to realize maybe I need to push myself harder in order to get out of here and play with more active players, people who are less about just running headlong at the enemy base. Or you end up realizing that you're happier there and you're completely fine with your current position. At least you'll be having fun, and at the end of the season you'll get something. Maybe some currency or even a player icon once, they get that fixed up. And last on this list is the ability to spectate, even if it's only in custom lobbies, even if it's only one person that can do it. It's a start. If there's anything a competitive player likes more than playing games, it's having someone actually shoutcast their tournament matches properly. So if you want to grow this game in a competitive way, big or small, you really need to give people this ability. Some of you might not know this, but the GA games that were cast consisted of those guys basically stream sniping one of us. This gives them a very narrow view of the arena and gives people watching it just way less information than they'd probably want. This also puts a little bit of the stress on the person who's streaming, who now has to give part of his bandwidth so that people can see this game. So these are all important for Matiga to get done as fast as they can before or even slightly after the Steam release. Some more than others. I'm looking at you, custom lobbies. So the road might be a little longer than Matiga thinks, and I hope they're able to pull all this off sooner rather than later, because I would absolutely love to see this game properly thrive. Because at its core, past all the criticisms and bugs and issues people have, this is an insanely fun game. If it wasn't, I wouldn't have dumped nearly 200 hours into it post the patch that happened very recently. Oh, and there's one other thing, and if you do this, Matiga, my eyes would thank you to no end. Your menu screen. Please, just stop it. I don't know who in your office enjoys staring at the sun, but I also have to do artwork on the side, and if I stop playing your game and can't clearly see anything for a while, there's something wrong. There's a reason why certain websites give us a night mode. Maybe you should give us a Devedra mode. It's even hurting my eyes in my video editor's little preview box. I can only imagine what it's doing to people watching this on YouTube. Look away, people. Alright, I got it. We're safe. So hopefully that got you up to date with where the game is now. If you're watching from the future as like a look back at where this game came from, hello future people. But for now, I'd like to hear what you think. What are they missing? What do you think needs to be added? Or even if you have any questions about the current gaming meta, you can drop them in the comments below. Because apparently the new tutorial and the bot matches aren't really enough to help fix that. And I'd like to do my part for the community. Well, that's all from me. If you liked what you saw here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're looking to play a bit of Gigantic in the future, there's my really horrible ARC battle tag name that I just hate looking at. It triggers me. Go away. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the arena.